just to hold conversations with other people, right? Like they will share information that you might share, in confidence, secretly to certain people, and they just run their mouth. They just tell the whole street about your information or whatever you have planned. And I think honestly, like it's super corny, but a lot of people do that. I think secondarily, people will simply get mad at you, especially if you're doing better than them. If you share your successes, if you share, oftentimes a lot of the positive things that are happening in your own life, they will start to do like this comparison game within their own minds and say, why has this person achieved this when I haven't done so at all? And I think it's kind of lame, it's kind of corny, but there are a lot of people out there that are just simply haters, and it's the truth. If you want to accept that, you can. If you don't want to, then just lie to them.
This man is so right. All this time, I have been known to be a very honest person. And being an honest person will make you into the problem, into the villain, into the scapegoat. Okay? People don't want honesty. I know that sounds crazy, but people genuinely do not want honesty. People want to be lied to. When you're honest, it makes you the outcast. Alright, so this guy, he's basically saying, you should lie to people more. And at first it sounds kind of crazy. But when you think about it, he's really onto something. So for example, I'll give you a few examples. The first one I'll give you is in business. So when I started my small business, people wanted to hear that the solution, the quick, easy, no effort solution was going to get them results. And that's just not the case. I don't really know many things that you can do where it's quick, except in a microwave, right? Where you could get just quick, instant results. Anything else other than a microwave, you're not getting anything easy. Or I'll put it like this: anything of low value, anything that's not worth having, you can get it pretty easily, right? If you want a real home cooked meal, for example, right? It takes time. You have to slow cook it. You have to season it. You have to let it marinate. It's so many different things, steps that you have to take to get a good meal, right? But if you want some microwaved snack, or some microwave dinner, it doesn't taste as good and it's not as good for you. So many things are put into it to preserve it that way. And you can have it, but it's not the best thing for you. But either way, that's not the point of this. I was just giving an example of things that you can get fairly quickly, right? So in my business, I had to shift where it was a thin line, but I didn't want to be dishonest because I'm not a dishonest person, which is why I'm making this video, because I want to share with y'all how that actually hurts me. If y'all see otherwise, if you experience otherwise, let me know, because every single time I came out and told people in my business, this is what it will take for you to be successful. This is what it will take for you to achieve this amount of money, or for you to achieve this particular result. It takes effort. You're going to have to, put in X amount of hours of work, of study, etc. And that was just not getting the results that were needed for me. And so I said, let me shift. I just want to see, because I saw other people in the same industry getting better results. I said, okay, let me try to be as honest as I can, but also tell them what they want to hear, which is quick, easy results, right? I did that, and lo and behold, better results. And I'm like, people really want you to lie to them. That's just one example. It happens in families, friendships, right? When you're like the friend in the group who likes to tell your friend how it is. You tell her that, I don't know, him or her, that they may be the person who's wrong in the relationship. Maybe they come to you about an issue they had with their partner, and they ask you some advice, and you say, well, I think you could have handled it a little different. It's just like, or if you tell them, I don't know, they might ask about their weight or something like that. You're like, well, you are a little, you are a little bit bigger than you were this time last year, but you still look good. It's just like, no, they want to tell you they look amazing, and people want you to lie to them. Nobody's going to say that. Nobody's going to admit that, but people really do want you to lie to them. It's very rare for people to want honesty, and I'm just learning that, and maybe all of you knew that already, and I'm the late one to the party. I had a family member who used to lie to her mom. Like, okay, so she moved out and started her own life, and would go back and visit her mom. So her mom is like, how's college going? Oh, it's great, everything is fantastic. Oh, so mom's pride and joy, and she's telling mom all these great things, and mom is just so happy with her and so proud of her. But then she goes back to reality, which is not so bright. And then on into her, after college life, and so on and so forth. She just keeps coming home for the holidays, or keeps speaking to mom over the phone every couple of weeks, and just letting mom know that everything is okay. Meanwhile, her life is falling apart. And she was okay with that. That's what her mom wanted to hear. That's what she wanted to hear. That's what she wanted to share with her mom. But her life is absolutely falling apart in reality. So then she ends up having children of her own. And then her children grow up. Now she has 2 children. Her son kind of does the same thing that she did, which is come home every so often. Yes, everything's great, mom. You are going to be so proud of me because this happened and that happened and all these great things, and life is amazing. Her daughter, on the other hand, her daughter is a bit more honest. So her daughter comes and she's like, yeah, I don't know, this job is just not going how I want it to. Maybe I'm thinking about changing the course of my career. I don't know, I'm considering just being real, just being realistic, being real, being honest, being transparent about the ups and the downs of life. And she just despises her daughter. And that's the funny thing. It's like, no, just tell me what's gonna make me happy. And that's how it is. And I think the reason why people prefer lies is because they really want to avoid discomfort, right? That's the true reality of it. Lies keep people from having to deal with the real truth, right? Because if you know the truth, then you have to deal with it. If your friend says, yeah, you did pack on a few pounds, if you know the truth, you really have to sit in that and say, oh my gosh, I did pack on a few pounds, then you have to deal with it. Now you're going to have to do the crunches. Now you're going to have to cut back on your diet or change your diet, and you're not ready to face that yet. So you'd rather the lie. It's not the truth teller's fault, but you just rather the lie. And the truth teller ends up getting punished because their friends don't want to talk to them. Their family don't want to talk to them. Nobody really truly wants to hear honesty. Hearing the truth challenges their own view. They had something in their head and they want it to stay that way. And so it makes them defensive. And then now you're the enemy. you know. Most people crave comfort. They want comfort. They want to stay in their comfort zone. They don't want to stretch themselves past, you know, what they're comfortable with. That's just the reality of it. And if you're the one that's bringing this discomfort, then you are the problem. Not the actual problem. You are the problem. You know, when I'm honest to my family, I'm seen as being difficult. You know, I'm the one who's causing the problem. But in reality, the problem is already there, but I highlighted the problem. Truth tellers ruin the delusion. And who wants their delusion ruined? You know? If you think back on like Disney, no, I won't even go there. I'm not gonna go there. Okay. Anything you can think of where a person comes and puts reality in your face, there is a problem. You know, sometimes conspiracy theorists, I know a lot of people don't like conspiracies and conspiracy theorists, but sometimes they're right. I think some of them are actually really, my mom likes to call it out to lunch. I think that's so funny. She called it out to lunch, like they're clocked out. Anyway, some of these conspiracy theorists are out to lunch, but some of them actually have valid points. You know, they just did enough research to find out and uncover that something's just not right here, which is the same as truth tellers. You know, people who are just out to seek knowledge and forever learning and forever wanting to find out more information, and then they share the information. That's where the problem lies. It's like, don't share the information. So y'all know me. I love to educate myself and think a little bit deeper, but I am learning like to calm down on being the truth teller. Some things don't have to be said. Some things can just be knowledge for you, you know, and you can just keep it to yourself. When you find out that a certain person may not be honest, when you find out a certain person might be, I don't know, a crooked cop, you don't have to always say, you don't have to be the whistleblower in every situation. You know, maybe crooked cop is the wrong thing to use, but I don't know. Not in those type of environments. I guess what I'm saying is, you don't have to be a whistleblower in every scenario. You don't have to bring it to the forefront every single time. Where I get caught up is because a lot of people call me for things like that. Like when they want honesty, they will call me and they will ask me, and I'll tell them, and then they'll get upset because I guess that's just not what they wanted to hear. They wanted to hear something different, but I'm kind of like, gosh, y'all don't know me by now. Like, y'all know I'm going to tell you honestly. And not because I'm so determined to like be honest. It's just natural to me, you know? Like, I'm not thinking so deep. I'm at the mall and I'm walking through the mall. My phone rings and my friend calls and she's like, hey girl, what do you think about blah, blah, blah? And I'm just like, oh no, that's not my favorite thing. Or, I don't really like their food. Or I don't know. Whenever anyone seeks advice from me, it's just not like I'm thinking about, ooh, I'm gonna be the truth teller and I'm gonna put them on blast. I'm just honest. My thoughts. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Is it that I'm surrounding myself? Is what I'm saying accurate? Like, do you find that most people just would rather not hear the truth? Or is it me? Am I just surrounding myself with the wrong individuals? Like, people do want to hear the truth, but they don't want to hear it from certain people, or they do want to hear the truth and they just don't. Like, I'm just around a bunch of liars. Like, am I looking at the situation wrong, or do y'all find this to be true? Like, let me know. Like, let's discuss this. Because if it's just me, then I have to maybe do a different type of reevaluating. But I don't know. I just feel like me being a truth teller just ends up. And I only know that I'm a truth teller because this is like a reoccurring issue for me. I don't consider myself a truth teller like when I'm just going about my regular day. So please do not misunderstand that. I'm not just walking around like, there's an issue, let me address this. I'm not like doing Karen. Like, I'm actually the opposite. I'm just like low key. I just keep to myself. I mind my business. I don't go looking for gossip. That's the funny thing. People come to me with gossip and I have no interest in it. Like, people come to me with family gossip. Do you know who's pregnant? Or do you know who, I don't know, just different things, family things. And I could care less. I'm not a judgmental person. Like, I let everybody live and be happy with whatever decisions they make. And if I can support somebody, mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, I try to help. If I can't, then I can't. That's how I go about my life. I'm not trying to get in anybody's business or judge them. These are people who come to me, ask me for advice on something, and I'm honest, and then they don't want to hear it. That's when it comes to friends or family. But I also notice the same thing on social media. I notice the same thing in the media, like journalism. Y'all kind of want to hear the juicy story. You don't want to hear, you know what, nothing really happened today. Like, yeah, I mean, the usual, but nothing really exciting happened in our city today. So, like, they want the ratings, so they make it really juicy. Or tabloids, for example, right? Celebrities probably have like really boring lives outside of, I don't want to say boring. I think the ones who want to have an interesting, crazy life, like a Diddy, I think they do have interesting lives. I just think like beyond a Diddy, maybe, I don't freaking know, Jill Scott. And I love Jill Scott. But maybe she just has a regular, schmegular day. Adele. Maybe, but Beyonce. Maybe she doesn't have this like life where you think is spa all day and getting luxury pedicures. Like, maybe it's not all that. Maybe, yeah, when she does get a pedicure, she makes sure that it's quality, I'm sure. But like, what if her day is super, super regular, but people are so interested in knowing what's behind the scenes? What if there is nothing? What if that's why she's not showing? I don't think that's the real reason. I think she enjoys her privacy, and I respect that because I enjoy mine as well. But what if there is just no extra juicy details? Her and Jay-Z fighting, or her and Jay-Z doing really fun, exciting things. Maybe they just are a regular family who put something on the grill. I'm sure they have chefs and whatnot, but you know what I'm saying. Like, maybe there is no extra loudness in the house. There may just be a couple raising their kids and doing what they love and wearing fashions and going and networking, because that's what most people in careers do. Their career just happens to be highlighted in the spotlight, so we get to see all these events that they go to. But most people in a career where they're successful go to networking events, or lots of baby showers, lots of weddings, and things like that. And so I don't know. I just feel like I don't even know where I was going. I don't even know where I was going with that, y'all. But my point that I'm trying to make is I feel that people just don't want the truth. They want. Oh, I think where I was going with that was people want the story to be more juicy than it is. So then the tabloids have to lie and create AI footage and photos and Photoshop and have to do all this because people really can't accept that something just might be that, I don't know, Beyonce has a great platonic relationship with her male bodyguard. Maybe it's not, but when you see it online, it's like, ooh, she's a little close with Julius, and it's just like, relax. But you want to believe the lie because it's juicier, you know. You don't want to believe it's corny to think that he's just a regular paid bodyguard, you know. Yeah, so I don't know. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. I personally, I don't know. I feel like it's not that I want to lie. I'd rather be by myself and just not surround myself with too many people because I don't want to lie. You have to keep up with lies. It just seems draining to not be your authentic self, to not just be able to answer your phone and start talking. Now, I'm not a disrespectful person, you know. I'm not one to gossip or anything like that. So, like, if someone asks my opinion, I'm just going to give it. But if you go back and look at this creator's content on TikTok, you will see that he's basically saying, lie to your coworkers. They don't have to know all your business. I've already done that. It's not lie, it's more like omit. When someone asks how my weekend was at work, I'd always say, oh, fine, it was good. What'd you do? Nothing, just stayed around the house. And I did stay around the house. That doesn't mean I was in the house 24/7. But at some point during the weekend, I was at my house. Like, honestly. You know, and just because I feel like people judge you based on what you did for the weekend. If I really said, oh, me and my friends stayed, you know, I don't know, just based on their perception that they already have in their head of you, they can take that, they can take the information that you give them and spin it to help serve their narrative, although it's nothing like they're spinning it to. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, if I say I went food shopping, yeah, because she looks like the type to have food stamps. Or she's overweight, so of course she would be food shopping. You know what I mean? Like, just people can just make it. Or if you say I'm dating, then if they already felt like you were promiscuous, even though you may have had one partner previously in your life, they're going to twist that and make it be something deeper than it really is. Or they're just going to put their narrative or confirm their narrative that they already had in their head of you. And so I just choose not to give anyone that type of ammunition. You know, I choose not to give them anything to add to their story. You know, if you want to start adding pieces of the puzzle to your story, just make it up. Like you made up this narrative that you already have. Just make it up. You know? And that's just what it is. And I think also, that gets upset with people when they tell you the truth? Or are you the type of person that accepts constructive criticism? You're able to learn and to grow from the hard truths. Do you appreciate truth tellers? Or do you like the sugarcoat, lie to you type people in your life? I want to talk about it because, truth be told, I'm going to be honest regardless. I'm going to be honest. It's just who I am. It's the right thing to do. Even if that means that I have to just have a very small circle. I want the people around me to be mature enough and willing to grow enough that they appreciate honesty. I will be around less people, and I'm totally okay with that. I will have less people to work with in my business. I'm totally okay with that. I don't need to work with thousands and thousands of people. I just need a few people to have an impact, and then they can have an impact and we can pass it along like that instead of the masses, because I don't honestly like how the masses think anyway. So there's that.